A sudden golden hush falls over the ancient stone halls of the Mahavihara monastery as three elderly monks gather by torchlight. In their hands rests a thick manuscript. Yet just moments before, a divine wind had whisked it from Buddhaghosa's meditation cell. Unperturbed, he sits, ink-stained fingers poised, calmly rewriting every sacred word from memory. When the manuscript returns, word for word as before, the monks exchange astonished glances. This is mastery. This is devotion. And this is the voice who will shape Theravada Buddhism forever. Let's begin. Let's begin. Let's begin. Let's begin.
Think of the last time you felt the tug of war between old beliefs and new horizons, how tradition can anchor you, yet curiosity forever whispers from beyond the familiar. Across centuries and cultures, the greatest breakthroughs often begin with questioning, tension, and surrender to deeper exploration. In the life of Buddhaghosa, we find not only the story of a single seeker, but the living blueprint of how devotion, intellect, and persistence can transform both individual understanding and the fate of an entire spiritual tradition. Imagine the world into which Buddhaghosa was born, a patchwork of forest hermitages, sacred rivers shrouded in morning mist, and the ancient city of Bodh Gaya, standing sentinel over India's spiritual crossroads. His childhood was alive with incense, the clink of ritual vessels, and the chanting of Brahmin priests invoking timeless Vedic hymns. Raised in erudition, he mastered Sanskrit verse long before most children could write their name. His mind was keen, questioning, quick to grasp nuance, but restless. The swirl of philosophies and sects in northern India made even established truths feel like a puzzle. Yet, for Buddhaghosa, questions were not a threat, but a doorway. He journeyed through dusty villages and bustling city courts, seeking out debates like a warrior seeking worthy foes. It was in one such encounter that Buddhaghosa's life changed course. In a shaded clearing, beneath banners fluttering with sacred threads, he entered into dialogue with a Buddhist monk named Theravada. What spooled out between them wasn't just a battle of logic. It was a meeting of worldviews. Theravada's understanding of the Abhidhamma, the intricate philosophical teachings, dazzled Buddhaghosa. For the first time, the Vedic framework faltered. Arguments that once felt solid now seemed narrow in the light of the Buddha's teachings about mind, suffering, and release. Disarmed by clarity rather than force, he let go. He asked questions, listened intently, and in that surrender, a new conviction arose. He became a bhikkhu, Buddhaghosa, the Buddhist sage. His conversion, however, wasn't a flight from difficulty or shame. Instead, it marked the start of a lifelong quest. How could the vast oral teachings of the Buddha be preserved for future generations? Buddhaghosa knew that much of Buddhist doctrine in India and Sri Lanka existed not as writing, but as a living river of recitation. He had heard that in distant Anuradhapura, at the Mahavihara monastery, ancient commentaries written in Sinhala were hidden away, barely known beyond that island. Determined, he traveled through sweltering southern forests, across sea and unfamiliar cities, to the very heart of Theravada tradition. When he finally stood before the Sinhalese elders, monks of great learning and piercing gaze, they did not immediately reveal their treasures. Instead, they offered a test. Compose a treatise upon the heart of the Dhamma, not merely copying, but illuminating the path for the world. Taking up the challenge, Buddhaghosa shut himself away in a modest cell. There, words poured from him like monsoon rain, meditative instructions, ethical codes, profound explanations of the mind. He titled it the Visuddhimagga, the path of purification. Here, he wove together the three pillars that would later define Theravada practice: sila, morality; samadhi, concentration, and panya, wisdom. But as legend has it, when the treatise was complete, deities, perhaps testing the robustness of his insight, twice whisked away his manuscript. Unshaken, Buddhaghosa recreated it from memory, each verse matching the last, a testament to his depth of realization. Convinced, the elders opened the doors to their scriptural storehouses, allowing him to translate and systematize centuries of commentary. Let's pause here and contemplate that central theme, sila, or morality. In the Visuddhimagga, Buddhaghosa describes morality not as a set of punishments or prohibitions, but as a gentle, continuous refinement, like a potter turning clay, or a gardener training living vines. He emphasizes that sila is the foundation upon which the whole edifice of meditation must stand. Without honesty, restraint, and goodwill, the mind cannot achieve clarity. Think of it in everyday life. In a noisy, divisive world, a commitment to basic precepts, truthful speech, non-harm, mindful consumption, can create not just personal peace, but a greater sense of safety for all. Buddhaghosa urges practitioners to notice the small roots of irritation or dishonesty as soon as they sprout, to gently realign their actions with mindful intention. In this way, morality becomes a living, breathing art, a craftsmanship honed in every conversation, at every crossroad. From this ethical foundation, Buddhaghosa moves to samadhi, the cultivation of concentration. Few images are as stirring as his metaphor for the mind. A wild elephant, lumbering and distracted by every sound in the forest. He offers, instead, the image of a seasoned elephant trainer who, with patience and repetition, leads the animal to a still lake, inviting it to linger, to be soothed. In practical terms, Buddhaghosa's instructions on meditation are both precise and poetic. He speaks of focusing on the breath, the way a musician listens to the faintest tuning note, or how a potter watches the rising and falling of spinning clay. In our multitasking age, this teaching feels radical. What if we too could sit for just a moment, returning to the gentle rhythm of our own breath, letting stray thoughts fall away like dust from an ancient floor? Concentration is built not in heroic efforts, but in the willingness to begin again, each moment a renewal. A third pillar in Buddhaghosa's path is panya, wisdom. But this is not mere accumulation of knowledge. He distinguishes between cleverness and the clear seeing that transforms experience. Buddhaghosa describes wisdom as a lantern carried into a dark room, revealing what was always present but unseen: the true nature of self, suffering, impermanence, and release. He guides practitioners to look closely at mental phenomena, to notice not only the content of a thought, but the way craving, aversion, and confusion shape perception itself. In the modern world, where distractions vie for our attention at every turn, we are offered the same choice: to react blindly or to pause, to see situations as they really are. Buddhaghosa writes of the joy that emerges when, for a split second, the chain of reactivity is broken. Insight arises, not because we force it, but because we have trained ourselves to see deeply and without illusion. Buddhaghosa's work became revolutionary not just for its philosophical rigor, but for the way it wove together traditions. He did not cast aside the Sinhala commentaries as foreign. Instead, he synthesized them, translating, systematizing, and shaping a canon that has defined Theravada practice for centuries. To do this, he had to walk a tightrope, honoring what came before, yet offering something new. Imagine a grand scriptorium, palm leaves and ink brushes scattered under the lamp-lit arcades, monks threading needle-like letters onto fragile pages that might survive monsoon and fire. Buddhaghosa's example speaks to any community trying to preserve its wisdom. It is possible to protect tradition and invite innovation, to build a bridge rather than a wall. Even legends that swirl around Buddhaghosa, they too have a deeper meaning. When the gods are said to hide his manuscripts twice, what is remembered is not just his miraculous memory, but the humility and persistence he displays. In the face of setbacks or challenges, he simply begins again, undeterred. There is an implicit lesson for all of us navigating a world of impermanence and uncertainty. When obstacles arise, we may be tempted to give up or to cling anxiously to our first results.
Maybe you're wrestling with setbacks that keep taking away your progress, like a manuscript whisked off by fate each time you think you're done. Remember Buddhaghosa's quiet mastery. When tested, he didn't lament what he lost, but recreated his masterpiece word for word. Let yourself begin again. Practice one mindful act of generosity or honesty today, and notice the calm it brings. Subscribe for more journeys through timeless wisdom. Stay rooted in the wisdom of the ages.